Life is a blessing and life is a lesson. Life is a setback and life is progression. Life is uneasy at times, life is comfortable. Life will lift you up and at times life will humble you. Life is a gift, you better thank the Lord for it. Every chance you get, someone is less fortunate. Life goes in circles, life throws you curveballs. Life can be deceiving like preachers in the church halls. Life isn't promised. If I could be honest, the fact that I'm alive, that time has me astonished. Cause I came from the underground, being tossed around, being lost and found. Now they adore the sound of the priest, far from a nuance. Verses are proverbs, written's are the new songs. Another song for the blocks and the avenues. Everything is plain, I don't speak to them in parables.
I wanna praise you, Yahweh.
I wanna praise you.
I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
For the power I see the world through different eyes. Every Sunday got the preacher telling different lies, hearing things that I really couldn't visualize. Should've listened, Big said you'd be hypnotized. I was a victim too, I say respectfully. They all up in the soup, don't know the recipe. Talking about I'm not who I was bred to be. Count me out, man, who made you the referee? Trying to get stripes, trying to cloud chase. At 19, I made an about face. Thanks to Christ, it's also about grace. And they lied when they said it ain't about race. But that's another song, I ain't the first to tell you. Woke up on a deeper and a surface level. Learned the laws and the Lord's changed my attitude. And the song is to show you how a gratitude. I'm so grateful.
I wanna praise you, Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful.
We're so grateful.
I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
Now let it ride.
I wanna praise you. I wanna thank you.
What's going on? What's going on, Israelite family? What's going on? Welcome to another Sunday class. It's your brother Priest Daniel, representing Lions of Israel. Also represent Maccabees TV. We appreciate everybody that's here to support us. I'm asking everybody that's watching us on all our YouTube platforms, whether it's Maccabees TV, whether it's Healthy Hebrews, Men of War, Rise of the Hebrews, Lions of Israel class, wherever you are, I'm asking you guys to like the video, share it, support the video. We're here every week to try to help our people be that much better. We know there's a lot going on, a lot of distractions, but this information is vital. It's literally life-saving, and that's why we come live to you, brothers and sisters, every week. With that being said, without further ado, I'm going to turn the class over to Sister Malika so she can go ahead and get started. We appreciate you guys being here. All praise to the Most High.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. Shalom. How are you guys doing? As always, I like to ask if I'm being heard before I continue. Make sure you guys are hearing me. All right. Now, before I continue, let me say this. If you guys come every week, if you're here every week, I'm assuming is because you appreciate what it is that we discuss weekly. I'm asking you guys, just hit the like button and share the video. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for much. Just especially if you're a part of our body. For those of you who are a part of this body, if you're here every week and you're not clicking the like button and sharing the video, I don't know. We're gonna have to have a conversation about that. All right. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. By the way, thank you guys for coming and welcome back again. We are going to have a conversation and shortly I'm going to that you guys see what we're going to be talking about. So shout out to Sister Kim. Sister Kim, shout out to you. Nawaraka, I hope I said that right. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's here. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Let me stop babbling and sharing my screen. All right. Today's class is not going to be long, but hopefully it's going to be strong. Okay. Today's class is not going to be long. It's not going to be too long. I don't really like to keep you guys here too long. I know y'all have stuff to do. Welcome, Sister Angeline. Welcome, Brother Stephen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Okie dokie, and let's get into what we're here to discuss today. All right. Let me see. Let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm sharing here. Okay, there we go. All right. So today we are having a little bit of discussion, and let me say this before I I might offend I might offend a few people today. Hopefully, if you're in the truth, if you're watching and you're in the truth should not offend if you're in the truth. I'm just saying, but I might offend some people today. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. All right. So the topic today is, why is my gut so big? That's the topic. And as I always tell y'all, when I come here weekly, right? I like to bring discussion that real people talk to me about. You know what I mean? I like to bring that to you guys. So these are real discussion that I have on a regular basis. Okay. And that's why I'm having this discussion with you guys. All right. So there we go. Why is my gut so big? We're going to answer those questions today. All right, because I'm almost certain there's quite a few of you watching that's having this issue. Okay, this is a big issue in the community. It's not just in this community, it's in a lot of different communities. All right. Okay, so if you look at a lot of people, right, with large stomach, not all of them are, necessarily obese, so to speak, right? You do have people that are on the smaller side and, maybe slightly overweight, but they have this big protruding gut, and that makes them look obese. You see what I'm saying? Like the gentleman in the picture here, I wouldn't necessarily say that he's like this obese guy, but because he have this large gut, he looks obese. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So what are some reasons that your stomach might be big? Okay. So we're going to go down a couple of reasons here. So fat accumulation around the abdomen, right? Bloating, overeating, weak abdominal muscles, foods, your diet, of course, alcohol consumption, water retention or fluid buildup in the body, hormonal issues, gastrointestinal issues, and other medical issues, right? All right. Well, let's talk about the fat accumulation around the stomach. So why do fat accumulate around the stomach? Well, it's a combination of poor diet, lack of physical activities, lack of quality sleep. It can be stress, certain medications. Yes, certain medications. A lot of people are on medication that's making them big, and also hormonal issues. And sometimes those medication mess hormones as well. So there's a lot going on, right? When you consume more calories than you burn, a lot of us are doing that. Excess energy is stored in your gut as fat. And other foods like, as I mentioned, stress, alcohol, certain medication, so on and so forth, right? All of that contributes to weight gain, okay? This is a conversation, especially that the women, the sisters, do not like to talk about. But sisters, to hate me today. We're going to have this discussion today. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Overeating and bloating. Large meals can distend the stomach. Distend, what does distend mean? Distend is the visible swelling or enlargement of the stomach due to the buildup of gas, fluid, or tissues, okay? It is characterized by an increased abdominal size that is accompanied by feeling of fullness and discomfort. Bloating is swelling due to eating too fast and or swallowing air. I've seen that a lot. If people, you get hungry, maybe you're in a rush to go back to work or whatever the case is, and you're just wolfing down that food. You're not taking the time to chew your food. You're eating it fast. You're swallowing a lot of air, and that causes a lot of bloating. You got to take time to eat your food. Bloating is also caused by gas and water retention, often a result of salty foods. Carbonation, like your carbonated drinks, such as sodas, beer, sparkling wine, or champagne, and your salty foods like your chips and all the junk food that you pick up at your corner store, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those are things that cause bloating. If you're wondering why your gut is so big, all of these things are contributing to it. Alcohol consumption. Alcohol has a lot of calories. To you, it's just a liquid, but alcohol has a lot of calories. I make wine, I know, okay? A lot of sugar and carbs. Excess calories are stored in the body as fat. That deep belly fat around the internal organs. And this leads to an enlarged looking stomach. Okay. Excess alcohol consumption reduces your body's ability to burn fat. It also increases your ability to store that fat. I am going to run that back. I'm going to run that back. Excess alcohol consumption reduce your body's ability to burn fat. It also increase your body's ability to store the fat, okay? Especially in the stomach area. Over time, this leads to central obesity. Somebody is asking me, Sister Malika, what is central obesity? What does that mean? Central obesity is when the fat stays mainly in one area. It's central to one area. And unfortunately for a lot of people, that area is in the abdominal area, the gut. That's where it stays. And the woman, it might be around the hips as well, right? Yeah. For men, alcohol consumption messes with your hormone. This is for both men and women, which lowers your testosterone. I'm going to say that again. Brothers, excess. Because I don't want anybody to say, well, we can't. What I'm saying to you is that moderation is the key. Moderation. Excess alcohol consumption messes with your hormones, which lowers your testosterone and encourage visceral fat. Visceral fat, again, around the gut, making you want to eat more and store fat around your gut. All right? Excess alcohol causes bloating and inflammation. Yes, it does. It irritates the stomach lining. Yes, the lining in your stomach. It irritates the and you know what? I forgot to put that in here, but long-term alcohol drinking as well can lead to a leaky gut, okay, because it messes with the lining of your intestines, okay, and that also causes gas and bloating, water retention, and gastritis. What is gastritis? Gastritis is inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. That's what gastritis is. And a lot of people are dealing with that, okay? And unfortunately, gastritis, along with all the other itis, as I always tell you guys, can lead to stomach cancer, okay? All right. A gastritis also make your stomach feel swollen and enlarged. Excess alcohol consumption also leads to a fatty liver, causes fatty liver disease. That leads to a abdominal swelling and fluid buildup in the abdomen, and cause the liver to become enlarged. Do y'all see the effect? It's like one effect after another. You know what I mean? Yeah. Excess alcohol consumption also leads to poor sleeping habits and food cravings, which leads to a lot of belly fat. Especially if you're drinking that alcohol before and going to sleep at night. You may fall asleep, but sometimes you have a hard time staying asleep. All right. Well, the other cause of a big gut here is weak abdominal muscles, and that is caused by a sedentary lifestyle. Sister Malika, what does sedentary mean? What does that mean? Sedentary is when you're not moving, when you're not exercising. Some people think getting up and going to work is exercise. It's just like, when's the last time you exercised? Well, I work 8 hours a day. That is not exercise. That's working, yes, but you're not exercising. There's certain muscles that needs to be used, that needs to be exercised. You're not exercising those muscles. And when you don't use it, you lose it. Okay? So a sedentary lifestyle is when you don't exercise. You extended period of just sitting down, which leads to muscle deconditioning. You lose, all that muscles that you're supposed to have. You guys ever see, a men walking around, and they don't really have much muscle mass, because exercising. The shoulder, the arms, that everything is flabby. There's no muscle mass there. And that tells me something about their testosterone levels, because a man is supposed to have some level of muscles, right? Exercise helps to build a man's testosterone. Okay. Lack of exercise can weaken the abdominal muscles and cause your stomach to become enlarged. I just want to make that clear. You're just sitting around, not exercising. Believe it or not, a lack of exercise weaken your abdominal, your stomach muscles, and that can make your stomach become larger. What is ascites? I hope I'm saying that right. Ascites. I always say this word wrong. Ascites. Ascites is a buildup of fluid in the gut, often due to severe liver disease. And one of the main causes of liver disease is from excessive alcohol consumption, right? Everyone with fluid buildup does not necessarily have ascites. However, when there's too much fluid buildup in the gut, it is a sign of liver disease, like cirrhosis of the liver. Okay? Now, you may not notice symptoms because there isn't much fluid in the belly, right? But as the amount of fluid rises, your belly will grow. It'll become full and swollen, right? Then your pants don't fit anymore because you start to get a little wider around the midsection there, right? Yeah. So let me let Esau tell y'all what a situs is.
So in this video, I want to discuss a non-fat belly. What do I mean by that? It's a situation where a person has this protruded stomach, okay, but it's not coming from fat. There's not a lot of fat going on. It's actually fluid, and the name for it is called ascites. I talk about this in my book when I talk about the liver body type because it's a liver problem. What's happening is the liver is so damaged, they're getting this leaking of fluid and accumulation of a protein fluid in the abdominal cavity. In this condition, you have the replacement of normal, healthy liver cells replaced with fibrous scar tissue. So you lose the function of the liver cells. And then that's why you get this buildup of fluid. So cirrhosis doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to develop. And a lot of times it's like asymptomatic. You won't even have any symptoms until you get it. Just years of maybe alcohol or poor eating, things like that. It usually starts with inflammation. And the person will usually have a fatty liver as well. But this inflammation that's in there is part of an immune response, and the body just heals with scar tissue. Now, medically, what they do is they lower the sodium, okay, to decrease the fluid, and they put the person on diuretics, and they also drain out the fluid. And the reason I know this is because I had a patient who was a medical doctor who came in and told me what they do. They basically drain the fluid out. 2 or 3 weeks later, they're back for the same procedure. I said, why don't they address the diet? And he says, well, we're just not taught that.
I really want you guys to hear what he just, I'm going to run it back again. This is very important. There's a reason I stopped the video right here. Okay. I want you to listen again to what the doctor just says. Okay. Hang on.
Procedure. And I asked him, I said, why don't they address the diet? And he says, well, we're just not taught that.
So the doctor comes in with an issue, and he's asking the doctor, well, why don't you address the diet? And that doctor tells him they were not taught that in school. I've been telling y'all this for years. Doctors are not taught anything about diet, health, and wellness in medical schools. They're not taught this. Doctors are trained to prescribe medication to the mass population. That's what doctors go to school for. Their main job is to prescribe medication. That's how they pay their bills.
So what I want to talk about is what I would recommend for the situation. Number one, I would recommend getting to the actual source of what causes the inflammation in the first place in the fatty liver. Refined carbs, sugar, things like that. So you want to lower the carbohydrates, all right? You want to stop all alcohol, and including the wine on the weekends. Go cold turkey because alcohol is just going to keep irritating the liver. There's solvents in there. That's going to be a problem. Number three, moderate amount of protein. If you do too much protein, excessive amounts of protein, let's say over 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 ounces in a given meal, that's going to be too much. And potentially you could generate too much waste, ammonia, and that can affect the brain because the liver processes this protein, and so you don't want to overload it. So I guess the perfect amount would be between 3 to 6 ounces per meal. And you don't want to go crazy with too much fat either. Maybe a moderate amount of fat. Why? Because when you cause damage to the liver cells, you also don't produce the bile. Bile is produced by the liver, not the gallbladder. The gallbladder just stores the bile, but the liver makes the bile. So people with cirrhosis don't have the amount of bile to digest large amounts of dietary fat. So that.
All
so
right,
in this
guys.
video, I want to discuss.
I just wanted you guys to kind of get an idea of what ascites is. Okay. All right. So another reason for enlarged gut, okay, is the hormone issues that a lot of our both men and women are dealing with hormonal issues. A lot of our brothers don't know that they're dealing with hormonal issues. You know, every human being was born with hormones in their bodies, okay? Both men and women. And just like our sisters are having hormonal issues, our men are having hormonal issues as well. It's just not talked about enough, okay? What is cortisol? Cortisol is a stress hormone that your body produces, okay? It's a stress hormone. Whenever this stays high for a long period of time, it raises your appetite. It also slows down digestion and causes gas, bloating, and stomach enlargement. Whenever this hormone stays high for too long, it causes your body to store fat around the belly. It slows down digestion and causes your belly to swell. This is kind of tough because our people are always out. I mean, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's hard to get away from. That's why it's called the stress hormone. When you're living in behind enemy lines every day, you're stressed out. It's kind of hard to control these things. But I always say the Most High always give us an out. This is why the Most High provide things for us to combat these type of issues. Unfortunately, our people are not utilizing what the Most High gave us to use to combat these things. In case, cortisol increases water retention, okay? Which, in other words, the stress hormone increase water retention. If your lymphatic system cannot drain fluid, this can also lead to swelling, inflammation, and other issues in the body, all right? Continuing with hormonal issue. What is gynecomastia? I have talked about this. I think I've done a live stream on this in the past. But as Priest Aniala always say, repetition, 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 right? Repetition. Gynecomastia, if you're new here or if you forgot, is a hormonal imbalance in men. This is an issue that affects men, okay? Gynecomastia is the enlargement of the man's breast tissues, which causes men to have large breasts. This happens when the female hormone, which is estrogen, is more dominant in a man than the male hormone, which is testosterone. A man is supposed to have more testosterone in him. The woman is supposed to have more estrogen. A man is supposed to have a small amount of estrogen because the Most High deals with balance. And a woman is supposed to have a small amount of androgen, which is a man's hormone, right? Again, balance. Unfortunately, living in hell, now you have the men walking around with more estrogen than the testosterone, and vice versa. You have the woman running around with too much androgen and not enough estrogen, or too much estrogen overload, right? This can cause excess fat also around the midsection. Okay, so what are some of the things that contributes to gynecomastia? Obesity, a lack of exercise, The consumption of foods that disrupt your hormone. Y'all know what those foods are. The cheese stuff, the corner store garbage. You know, corner stores should not exist because there's nothing there that is good to a human body. All the stuff you find in a corner store, anything you can think in a corner store, the chips, the sandwiches, the filthy stuff they sell in these corner store. Yeah, that's what disrupting your hormones, brothers. If you ever shop at corner stores and all the crappy stuff that our brothers, you know, a lot of chips and this and that, you know, fries and all the fake oil that they're using to fry your fries in, donuts and all that stuff, right? Excessive alcohol consumption contribute to gynecomastia. Pharmaceutical medications, if you're on that every day. Thyroid issues, liver issues. Here's a big one. Low testosterone. Soy products, including soybean oil. For those of you who are just continuing to use the soybean oil at home. Processed foods and junk foods that are made with a lot of the bad stuff like oil and so all of these things is what is contributing to a man having gynecomastia. Okay, I put the image here of this brother here. This is a real life person. Okay, I got from a clinic. This is a clinic that they got his permission to post this photo so they can teach people about these things. Okay, our brothers are dealing with this. This brother have a very enlarged breast. That's not normal. It's not normal for a man to have a breast like that. All right. Exercise, cleansing the gut, consuming herbs that helps to balance the hormones. That is what's going to help with this, brothers. You can fix it. You absolutely can fix this. Now, as far as the breast, you may, I mean, it'll shrink, but I mean, some brothers decide to go like you're gonna have excess skin. There are some brothers who go and have them tighten the skin, right? Because you're gonna have some skin there, because you did have, an enlarged breast. So if you decide to get rid of that, you exercise, you get rid of it, you're going to have some hanging skin there, brothers. So a lot of brothers are going to the doctors to have them remove that excess skin. That's what they do. Can't avoid that. But you're going to have to get rid of that lifestyle you're maintaining. Lose the weight. Start exercising. And if I didn't mention it, I'm going to mention it again. Exercise helps to build testosterone levels in men. Okay. Your meat is making you bloated. They don't talk about this a lot. The meat industry, the meat and processed food industry, they don't want us to discuss this. They really don't. But as this lady in the video is going to end in the video here, the chicken you are eating today takes a shorter time to raise than wild chicken. And those of you who may have grown up in the South, maybe if you had chicken on a farm somewhere, y'all know what I'm talking about. Or for those of you who are from the Caribbean and where you raise chicken, you guys know what I'm talking about. The mass-produced chicken that we that we have available in the supermarket right now, those only take 6 to 8 weeks to grow. 6 to 8 weeks to grow. Okay. Meanwhile, the wild chicken, like the one that you raise in your backyard in the countryside, somewhere up in the country, those takes anywhere between 16 to 24 weeks to mature, because that's how nature intended it to be. You see, that's a huge difference. Mass-produced chickens are specifically bred for what they call rapid growth. And by the way, they don't produce eggs either. Have you noticed how big these chickens are? The legs are huge. The breasts are huge. Every chickens are just, the chicken are big. I want you guys to remember, whatever chemicals they're using to make these chickens grow so fast within 6 weeks, when you eat that chicken, when you eat that meat, I want you guys to remember, you are what you are eating. You're consuming the same chemical from that chicken, and it's going into your digestive system, and it is doing the same thing to your body that it's doing to that chicken. It's making you bloated, the same way it makes them chicken breasts bloated. It's doing the same exact thing to your body. And the longer these things, these chemicals from these meats stays in your digestive system, the longer it's going to disrupt your hormones. And this is the part where they say, oh my goodness, she just keeps saying the same thing over and yep, I am going to say the same thing over and over. This is why our grandparents gave us flushes, washout, cleanses. This is why people like myself and others have been warning our people to cleanse yourself out, because cleansing regularly and while consuming the herbal medicine makes it harder for these chemicals and these things to stay in your bloodstream and cause problem and messes with your hormones. This is why we tell you to cleanse. We're not just telling you to cleanse because we like saying it. We understand what the benefit of cleansing is. Cleansing helps to get things out your system. And it's not just taking something to go to the bathroom. No. Consuming the herbs is a part of cleansing. There's a reason the Most High gave you the herbs. He gave it to us for a reason.
Organic and non-organic protein is one of the first things you should change in your diet. When you compare organic chicken with non-organic chicken, normally organic is much smaller and non-organic is much bigger. Why it's happening? Normally chicken, to grow in a big chicken, need 80 days. Of course, no normal producer will never wait 80 days. How to make it happen faster? For 40 days, like this chicken. This chicken grew within 40 days. Of course, they put a lot of hormones inside the chicken to grow faster. Organic, non-organic chicken, the main difference is in hormones, as I said, and antibiotics. Antibiotics used in normal production to protect us from different viruses and bacteria which can occur in animals. Of course, you eating this chicken, taking a part in your digestion, taking a part in your what it does to your body. Of course, microbiome is broken. So bringing every day a little dosage of antibiotics to break a normal production of good bacteria, a normal growth of good bacteria. Organic chicken is protected by...
You guys understand what this lady is saying? Let me explain it. Okay, so your chicken has antibiotics in it, okay? Now imagine if you were to go to your doctor and your doctor gives you antibiotic and tell you to eat this every single day. I mean, not eat it, take it, go home and take this antibiotic every single day. Do you know what that does to your body? Antibiotic? It'll mess you up. You're not supposed to be. Doctors are even warning against taking too much antibiotic. It messes up your gut. It lowers the immune system. It gives you infection, especially the ladies. It'll give you a urinary tract infection, yeast infection. So imagine getting that from your chicken.
Certification. It's forbidden to use antibiotics and hormones. This chicken normally small in size. It's normally more dense in the meat quality, and it's much tastier. So some people making the switch will know that it's harder, the meat is harder, but the taste is much more intense. And first of all, of course, the taste is important, but secondly, but very important, that you're protected from hormones and antibiotics.
All right. This also affects the children. It also affects the children. For those of you who have children, let's address the little girls. Have you noticed that your daughters are getting their menstrual cycle earlier than what's considered a normal age for a girl to get her cycle? You know, you have babies as early as 9 years old getting their menstrual cycle. That hurts my heart. Hurts, I tell you. And a lot of them, when they have their cycle, it makes them miserable. They're in pain, right? And a lot of parents, a lot of the mothers are taking these children to the doctor. And what is the doctor? What's the first thing the doctor do when you take your teenage black daughter to the doctor because she's having terrible menstrual cycle? The doctor, 9 times out of 10, put that little girl on birth control because they claim it's going to help her with her cycle. But what does birth control do? What is birth control for? What is it for? And what the doctors are not telling you is that birth control do not help a girl's cycle. What the doctor is not telling you is that he's prescribing that birth control to a girl, that little black girl, have a difficult time reproducing when she gets older. They're doing it to control the birthing in the black population. They want to make sure that they start them off at a younger age. That's why it's called birth control. They're using it to control birthing in the black community and in their own community too. That's why their birth rates are low. Birth control disrupts a woman's hormone. That's what it does, because the hormone is what helps you to conceive. When you take something to control birth, it messes with the endocrine system. This is the system that helps your body to produce hormone. It also contributes to fibroid and PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. If you ever see a woman in your family walking around with hair on her chinny chin chin, she's having issues with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It makes it difficult for her to have children when she becomes an adult. And it also makes her gain weight. In conjunction with the bad diet daughter is maintaining, because a lot of you guys have little girls in your home and they just eat whatever they want. It's like the children are raising the mothers in the home, and mothers too. There's no control of who eats what and what the person eat, what time of day. You know, some of us are growing up. Our elders had control over what we eat and what time of day we eat. We couldn't eat past certain times a day. And there's certain foods we couldn't eat in the morning. And there's a limit to what we ate. Our elders they knew better. Because they were the one raising us, not the other way around. Our parents are raising children. The children are raising the parents. Because there's no structure in the home. The little girl just come home from school and she does whatever she wants. So there's no one is controlling what she does. But by the time she reached 20, 25, she's having issues with her health. Because mama don't know what she's doing. She don't care about her health, and the little girl don't know what's going on. But anyway, alcohol consumption, poor diet, lack of exercise, and your hormone. A lot of women do not know that their liver has a lot to do with hormonal imbalance. The stuff you're putting in your body is messing with your liver. Alcohol, poor diet, lack of exercise affects the organs responsible for metabolizing and regulating your hormones. Ladies, your liver is one of those organs, okay? Your liver breaks down estrogen. Are the ladies listening? Are they listening? Okay. Your liver breaks down estrogen. Today is very important. This is a very important class for the ladies and the men too. Because black women are dealing with hormonal problems in the black community. All that rage, in conjunction with the that our sisters have to go through. The hormonal problem is what's breaking up the home sometimes. Because our women are filled with rage. A lot of that has to do with your endocrine system and them demons you're walking around with. Your liver breaks down estrogen. When alcohol, processed food, and junk food overload your liver, when your liver becomes overload from all of this stuff, it becomes very difficult for your body to break down, process, and remove estrogen from your bloodstream, ladies. If your liver is too busy processing all of that processed food and junk food and alcohol, right? It's going to be less effective at processing your hormones, which means that you'll have excess estrogen circulating your bloodstream, which is going to lead to hormonal imbalance. I hope the ladies are listening. In case you're wondering why your hormones are out of whack, I am walking you guys through the process, step by step. I'm explaining to you why you're having the issues you're having, ladies. You take it for what it's worth. If you're wondering why you're overweight, you can't lose the weight, you can lose the weight. We're going to talk about that today. Alcohol consumption, poor diet, lack of exercise, and your hormone. Why is it important for your body to process and eliminate excess estrogen? The estrogen that your body produces, ladies, your body uses it. Then your liver takes it and processes it. then it releases it into the bile and then goes into the intestine, and then it goes into your stool, and then when you go to the bathroom to do a number two, you get rid of it that way. Or it goes through your kidneys, and then your kidneys fill and goes through your urine, and you get rid of it that way. Okay, that's the normal process of how you get rid of excess estrogen. However, if your liver is not working properly, or when your body is not eliminating waste properly, then you'll have a buildup of estrogen in your body, ladies. What do we call that? We call that estrogen dominance. Then you begin to have weight gain, heavy period, PMS, all the pain that the women feel every month on their cycle, bloating, breast tenderness, mood swing, menopause, all of that stuff that our sisters deal with. Hang on, before I forget, because I almost forgot. See, this is why I like to write stuff down, because I usually forget stuff. Almost forgot. So last week I discussed one of the things that I discussed last week was dental hygiene, right? And a few people called to thank me for discussing that topic last week, because they have been dealing with tooth or gum issue. So before I continue, I want to remind you guys, if you're new here, or always hold on. Let me share my screen for a second before I continue. And I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. I'm on this website again called Grassroot Botanicals. Hang on. Where did it go? There we go. Okay. I want to remind you, brothers and sisters, always keep a bottle of clove in your house. Okay, I'm going to show it to you, because I've had brother ask me, what is clove? I don't know what clove is. Okay, there we go. A bottle of clove oil. This is clove oil. On this website, it's $15. Shipping is included. This lasts you a long time. Let me tell y'all something. My home is never without cloves or clove oil. Okay, we always have clove oil in this house, because I also use this to gargle with, to make sure that I keep bacteria in my mouth. All right, so my husband and I have this in the house. Okay, so just want to remind you to always have a bottle of clove oil in your house, because when you have an emergency with a tooth pain or a tooth infection, you're going to need this. All right. There was something else somebody called about. Let's see. I've gotten two phone calls from I gotten phone calls from two individuals. One of them is a truck driver. What the other one? The other one works at the hospital overnight. And they wanted to know what I recommend for energy, because they work these long hours and they're having trouble with lack of energy. And they're also having issues staying awake because of these long hours. Okay. So as I told the brothers, if you don't live in a state where it's really sunny, or if you don't spend a lot of time in the sun, I mean, it's wintertime now, get yourself some liquid vitamin D and take that. Make sure you're taking vitamin D, because Black people are deficient in vitamin D. Okay. Check your iron levels. Make sure you're not iron deficient. Okay. And also take magnesium and zinc. All right. But these minerals takes a while to be absorbed by the body. If you're looking for something immediate, like something to help you right away, hang on. something to help boost your energy while you're at work and help you stay awake. Where is it? Here it is right here. This product here, again, we're on the website called Grassroot Botanical. This is called the Energy, Strength, and Muscle Builder. This is a lot of brothers think that this is just for building muscles. Yes, this does help you to build muscle, guys. And I'm going to tell you who helped me to develop this formula right here. Master herbalist Patrick Delves is the one that put this formula together. Okay, there's some really, really great herb in here. Men, this is a men's product for men who are into physical fitness because it helps to build muscle, but this also helps with energy. And a lot of brothers who are, truck drivers, they have strenuous jobs. This helps them, guys who are into construction, maybe they work at night, into the police officer, security guard, or work at the hospital, long hours. This helps to keep you up at night, just help you stay alert, because this gives you a lot of energy, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this right here, it's called the Muscle Force Max Energy, Strength, and Muscle Builder. So if you're having issues in that area, brothers, you work long hours, you're looking for something to kind of boost your energy and help you stay up on the job, especially if you're on the road driving, this is something that's really going to help you, to give you some energy and keep you going. All right, I just wanted to show that to you guys. And again, this you can find on the website Grassroot Botanicals. There you go, grassrootbotanicals.com. All right, there we go. Okay, let's continue. All right, so what do all mean? What we just discussed as far as the estrogen and the weight gain and hormone problems and alcohol consumption and poor diet and all that stuff. What do all of this mean? It means that you should avoid estrogen dominance by always keeping organs like your liver healthy at all times, so you can avoid liver stagnation. You need to do a liver cleanse, ladies and gentlemen. If you have excess, ladies, estrogen in your bloodstream, you need to cleanse regularly. Cleansing allows your body to get rid of the wasted estrogen that's swimming around in your bloodstream. Your doctors don't talk to you about this stuff. That's why Sister Malika is here. I'm telling you what's going on in your bodies, ladies. Cleansing allows your body to get rid of the estrogen that's swimming around in your bloodstream, that your body is trying to get rid of, but your liver is not able to excrete that out of your system. Make sure that you are never constipated, because constipation interferes with your body's ability to eliminate estrogen. I'm going to repeat that because somebody didn't hear me. Constipation interferes with your body's ability to eliminate estrogen, which allows estrogen to be reabsorbed into your bloodstream, which is what's contributing to your hormonal imbalance. Okay, you should lower or eliminate your consumption of the foods and drinks and alcohol that are causing your hormones to get out of control. And ladies, exercise. Exercise, for crying out loud, exercise. Consume herbs for the liver. That's very important. Hang on. Hang on. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that. We're going to come back to that. By the way, we're on the Grassroot Botanicals website, and I'm gonna show you what you need. You'll gain healthy hormones, lady. This is what I do. This is what I do. I'm sharing with you guys what I do. This right here is a liver detox. If you're trying to maintain healthy hormones and not have hormonal imbalance, you need to keep your liver healthy, because your liver is the organs that helps to regulate your hormones, ladies. It's one of those organs that helps to do that. Okay. This is $35 right here. $35 to take care of your liver. $35. Very good herbs. Okay. All right. Oh, and hang on. Give me 1 second. A lot of the sisters that are watching, they've this. I mean, this is a cleanse, right? This is a 7-day cleanse. It's only $43. $43. 7-day cleanse. The wonders that stuff like this does for the human body, if you are consistent with these things on a regular basis, not just do it once 5 years ago, and then when I ask you, when's the last time you did a cleanse? Oh, it was 5 years ago, it was 2 years ago. These things should be consistent, because if you are consistent with consuming garbage, you should be consistent with cleansing. That's the point. You can't get up every day and eat garbage. And when I ask you when was the last time you cleansed, you're going to tell me it was last year sometime. Your cleansing should be just as consistent as the garbage you're eating. That's a cleanse to do for the sisters and the brothers. And if you feel like doing a parasite cleanse, there it is right there. Right? Let's continue. Consume herbs for the liver. When you consume herbs for the liver, it detox and strengthens your liver and helps your liver to process and excrete. What does excrete mean? Eliminate. It helps your liver to process and eliminate things that don't belong in your body that is causing hormonal imbalance. That's what it does. Let's see what Becky is saying here.
What is belly fat? So belly fat typically is the place your body is going to store excess, and it's excess hormones and excess toxins. I didn't say excess glucose. Glucose typically is going to go to other areas of the body, but the belly tends to be a sign of this toxicity component. Instead of the body putting that excess around your organs and causing them to it put it around your belly. Now, I'm sure there's glucose in there as well. But with that in mind, now, how do we get rid of the excess? So for starters, we got to make sure that your body is able to detox, and the two organs that detox are liver and gut. So how do...
Well, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who said it. See, Becky just said it. Let me run that back again. Hold on.
Able to detox, and the two organs that detox are liver and gut. So how do we support the liver and the gut? Well, those bitter foods, which is really...
Did y'all hear what she just said? Because I've been beating y'all over the head with this. What did Becky just say the liver likes? Okay, let's run that back again. Because I've been saying this, but I'm not white, so...
was belly fat. So
Hold on,
belly
I'm
fat
sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
how do we get rid of the excess? So for starters, we got to make sure that your body is able to detox, and the two organs that detox are liver and gut. So how do we support the liver and the gut? Well, the liver loves bitter food.
The liver loves bitter foods and herbs. The liver loves bitter stuff.
Which is really like my favorite food outside of the potato is radicchio. So lots of bitter foods, dandelion greens, ginger, lemon. We're back at the benefit of lemon, and that will support your liver, which will help you break down these toxins and get them out of your system. If you can get those toxins out of your system, then your body's not going to store them in menopausal or in that belly fat area. So,
okay, but that's the part I wanted you guys to take away from this, okay? And now she mentioned radicchio. I think that's what she called this thing here, radicchio. And this is what they call radicchio. This is really not bitter. I just wanted to point out something real quick before I moved on. She mentioned that this is a bitter food. This is really not a bitter food. Radicchio is a cabbage. This is not bitter. But what I want you brothers and sisters to understand is that when white people, they don't understand the concept of bitter foods or bitter herbs, okay? Because they're not used to these things. They don't consume these. They don't consume bitter stuff, okay? So this is what they consider to be bitter, a cabbage, okay? Whenever you listen to this type of stuff from these people, as the old folks used to say, you gotta learn to eat the meat and spit out the bone, right? These vegetables are wonderful for your health, but these are not necessarily considered bitter foods or bitter herbs, okay? When you're trying to detox your liver, you need real bitter foods and bitter herbs, stuff like bitter melon. And as she did mention, ginger, right? Cerasee, neem, wormwood, sarsaparilla, golden seal, cat's claw, those type of stuff. Those are the real bitter stuff that's going to help to clean you out and help to detox your liver. Thistle, yellow dock, all of those things that are good for the liver. And by the way, all them herbs there that I just mentioned are in that liver formula there that I showed you earlier. Why is exercise important for balancing hormones? That's a question for the ladies. Regular exercise is extremely important to balance the estrogen and progesterone levels, which is essential for maintaining healthy menstrual cycle, fertility, and growth, and reduce the chance of breast cancer. Exercise improves insulin sensitivity, which helps your body to manage your blood sugar. PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, is linked to insulin resistance. That's also going back to the liver again. Okay. Exercise is one of the things that will help to reduce that condition. It helps to eliminate high cortisol level. What did we say cortisol was again? Earlier, we talked about cortisol. Cortisol is stress hormone. Exercise will help your body eliminate stress hormone, ladies. For those of you always talking about how you're stressed, go for a walk. Get out there in nature or go to the gym. Exercise also helps to support healthy thyroid hormone production. Your thyroid, they produce hormones. Your thyroid hormone is what helps your metabolism. It helps you to have energy. For those who are, always don't have the energy, it's because your thyroid hormones are out of balance. Your thyroid hormone helps your menstrual cycle, ladies. So when your thyroid hormones are out of balance, that's why your menstrual cycle is out of balance. If you are having issues with your thyroid, you need to exercise. Exercise also helps with your mood, as I mentioned, with the cortisol, levels. It helps you to feel good. Let me tell y'all something. I was in the gym this morning, and I swear to you, I was like, I felt like I was on cloud nine. I haven't, man, listen. I was on the treadmill. I was going fast. I was running, and I felt like I felt like a crackhead on the damn treadmill. For real. Because exercise increase endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine, which helps with your mood, and it also influences your mental health. If only you would just get and start. I just wanted to point out some key points in this video. I don't know who these people are. I'm not helping them to promote anything. I just wanted to show some key things in this video here. So let's see. There's a very key component, the purging of the gut, eliminating of the waste from the gut, and so on and so forth, that they're going to, discuss here, talking about hormonal disruption and so on. So let's play the video.
Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Velvital isn't just a nutrition plan. It's not just a workout plan. It's not just stress management supplements. It is a comprehensive guide that integrates them all. And the test group results have been amazing.
The fact is that all your hormones are working together. It takes consistency. It takes a guided program. If you really want to achieve hormone balance, it can't just be one thing. So when you think of the 4 pillars, first of all, exercise.
And most people are not moving enough, and it's really contributing to this epidemic rise of metabolic hormonal dysregulation.
Pilates is low impact. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but we're not going to get such a stress response, such a cortisol spike out of it that we would get from like a heavy lift day or a high impact cardio workout. Now, that's not to say that weight training or HIIT cardio is bad. In fact, there can be a lot of benefits for hormone balance when it's in the right amount with proper recovery and nutrition.
Nutrition, incredibly important from the homeostasis perspective. When you're throwing off your glucose and insulin, that contributes to kind of that cascading effect of not feeling as well. And so nutrition plays an incredible role in the vitality you're going to feel.
Hormone balance can be a complicated bundle of factors, but sometimes it can be as simple as your stress management and reducing your stress levels. Acts of stillness, these supporters of the parasympathetic, the resting, digesting, is imperative when it comes to supporting hormonal health. And breath work is one of the best science-backed ways to support the parasympathetic and in turn support hormonal balance. I am such a fan of what Autumn has done by integrating breath work into the Velvital program.
So another aspect that I've believed in for the last 40 years, I wouldn't have written 26 books and 5 research databases on it, is the value of dietary supplements.
Okay, so they talk about the exercise, the stress management, the diet, and taking natural supplements. That's what I wanted you guys to take away from what they're trying to say. These things can help you to maintain a healthier lifestyle. There you go. Exercise. Look at what you're eating. Try to control your stress and get some natural things in your body.
Okay, I cannot
Okay. We're almost at the very end. I told you guys we weren't going to stay too long. So after I play this video, I think this is going to be the end of this of this this lesson today. Okay, but I saw this video and whoo-wee. Okay, I think this is where the sisters are gonna get really upset with me today. Okay, because there's something I really need to address here. I have been seeing so much delusion from our sisters. So much delusion. So the question here, somebody asked this question, a woman asked this, why should I be in shape to get a decent man? That was her question that she asked, right? And we're going to listen to the video here. We're going to listen to the video and see. Okay. All right. Fair use. This is for informational purposes.
I want to know, right? What is the issue? Like, why must everybody have to be in the gym to feel like you're comfortable enough to date or like get a decent kind of?
Let me run that.
Know, right?
Let me run that back. Let me, if you didn't hear what she just asked, I'm gonna run it back again. Let me run it back.
Right. What is you like? Why must everybody have to be in the gym to feel like you're comfortable enough to date or like get a decent kind of man?
Why does everybody feel like they need to be in the gym to feel like to be comfortable enough?
Okay, I can't be a plus size woman getting a decent kind of man. Like
why can't a plus size woman get a decent type of man? That's what she's asking. Okay, I'll just let it. Let me.
Like you say, go in the gym. A lot of women and men say you should be in fitness and stuff like that. So, like, what's wrong with being a bigger and like being a successful man?
Well, you can be in a relationship and be a woman who is obese. The problem is, though, that it is going to make it a lot harder for you to find a man because people in general, but specifically men, are very visual based. So you being overweight is almost always a direct correlation, unless you have a thyroid issue or some type of health issue, which is a small percentage of the population. Most people are not overweight or obese because of a health issue. It's usually a mental health issue. The fact that they are lazy. It's a direct correlation to their daily tasks and behavior. You're not disciplined. You don't make good decisions. If you don't take care of your body and your temper, you're probably not going to be. It's not going to correlate almost always to the way that you operate in life and your daily base.
I mean, did she just ask, why can't I be a big girl and get a successful man? Can you imagine going to your boss and asking your boss, hey boss, why can't I just get paid without doing the work? You know, why don't you just let me stay home and you just pay me? Or I'll show up to work and just sit at my desk and do nothing and you just pay me just for showing up. Huh?
Decision making. It's a decision making. So yeah, it's just it's that on top of just attractiveness. Men prefer women that are in shape. Men don't prefer obese women. Are there some? Sure. Are there fat women or obese women who have a man? Of course there are. But it's going to be a lot harder for you to do so because you're not going to meet the physical aesthetic. Same logic applies for short men. The difference is men can control their height. A man that's 6'2" and a man that's 5'2", both of these men being the exact same, there's no differences. Only difference is height. The 6'2" man is going to have a lot more options because women are naturally attracted to men that are taller because those men are more likely to be able to protect them. It's a DNA thing. It's biology. So.
I guess because like I don't feel that you're a big girl that means you're lazy, but like okay.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that means you're lazy. I said it's almost always a direct correlation to your decision making. So I said almost always. So that doesn't mean 100%. Some people have a thyroid issue. Some people have health. People can't get out of bed because whatever's going on with their life. So they simply just can't do that. But the majority of people are not that. the thing is lack of discipline. That's the biggest thing. Lack of discipline. You have people that are overweight that work very hard, but they have a lack of discipline in their diet, and they're basically them playing on a workout routine.
Okay.
Is that something that you disagree with? Is that something that what do you?
I just because I'm like shapy, so I have just a little stomach or whatever the case may be.
Hang on. This is the part that really grinds my gear. This right here. This is the delusion with our women. Okay? I'm gonna run that back. This is the delusion. This is why I'm let me not. Okay.
Because I'm like shapy, so I have just a little stomach or whatever the case may be.
She says she just have a little stomach. Now listen to this, guys. This woman says she just have a little stomach. Now listen.
Huh?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
How much do you weigh?
Like 290.
That's not a little shapy. That is morbidly obese.
280 pounds. And let me tell y'all something. When a woman tell you her weight, she's not telling you her real weight. She's at least taking 10, 15, 20 pounds off of that. This woman is way over 300 pounds. And she just said she have a little stomach. She doesn't just have a little stomach. This is mental illness.
I'm 5'7".
How much do you weigh?
Like 290.
That's not a little shapy. That is morbidly obese.
But in who eyes? Cause
in the eyes of BMI, the eyes of.
So she's asked, in whose eyes is this morbidly obese? In whose eyes? Well, she called this gentleman here because she's not able to find a man that she's looking for. That's why she's calling him. She called in to ask, why is she not able to find a man? Because of her size. And now she's asking him, in whose eyes am I big? The men that you're not getting. That's why you're calling in to ask why you can't attract a man.
People who have a logical brain. You are literally morbidly obese. And
I don't like being skinny.
You said you have to be skinny. I hear that argument a lot with people who are bigger.
And you know what? I know I keep stopping it, but I swear to you. Let me tell you, when you hear sisters say they don't like being skinny, that's what you call coping mechanism. It's a lie they tell themselves to make themselves feel good so they don't have to put the work in. That's what they do. When you hear sisters say, I like being single, no, they don't. Trust me, they don't. It's, again, a coping mechanism. It's something they tell themselves to allow them to cope because they're not able to get the men that they're trying to attract. So they lie to themselves and they say, oh, I like being single. They lie to themselves and say, oh, I like being 320 pounds. You know, that's how they're able to cope. Just lying, just living a lie. How can we get anywhere with people like this? I can't have a conversation with people like this. This is delusion. This is why I stay away from people like this. I go out of my way. Let me listen. I want y'all to listen to me. Sister Malika, I go out of my way to stay away from delusional people like this because I don't want to get sucked into the delusion.
Who are obese always jump to, well, I don't want to be skinny. Nobody said you had to be skinny. You're going to this extreme. Like you have to either be morbidly obese or anorexic. Nobody said you had to be skinny.
So how much weight you think that I need to lose to feel like I'm in shape to the eye of a man?
Well, most men are sexual deviants. So most men will, I don't say most men, but there are some men that will find you very attractive. We're talking about the majority of men. But it's not necessarily about getting a man. I think you're thinking of it incorrectly. You don't get in shape for a man. You get in shape for yourself because you want to live past 60. Have you seen a morbidly obese 70-year-old, a morbidly obese 80-year-old? You barely see morbidly 50-year-olds. They usually don't live that long, and by the time they hit 40s and 50s, they start to have health ailments, and they start to have a direct, close relationship with the hospital and their doctor. So does that mean that you're gonna just die? No, it doesn't mean that you can die in a car accident. But we're talking about the likelihood. The person in the U.S. lives till about 78 years old, 80 years old. More than likely, you're not going to get there with you being at your weight and at your height, almost 300 pounds.
But you didn't answer my question.
What did I not?
I said, how much weight do I have to lose to be in? I know you said it's for me, but if I like how I look, then it's not for me. It's for the man.
Another lie. I mean, she just keeps sucking herself into the delusion. She like how she look. Really? Does anybody really believe that this woman loved being over 3 pounds? Really?
It's not about liking how you look. I get to your question. It's about your health and longevity. And honestly, let me ask you a question. If you had the option right now to be 106, would you take it, yes or no? You didn't have to work out. You was just, I could just smack my finger, you'd be 160 pounds. Would you take it, yes or no?
I honestly can say my best weight was 220.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
No, I don't want to be 160. No.
Okay.
Did you? Oh my God! Okay. Let me tell you all again, man. Listen, I go out of my way to stay away from sisters like this. I go out of my way. I don't want to be around anybody like this at all.
You were given a red herring and then you answered the question. Unmute your mic. So, given the opportunity right now, you would not take the opportunity from being 290, almost 300 pounds. You wouldn't take the opportunity if I could snap my finger and you could be 160.
Because I don't want to be that small.
I mean, you can always get bigger, but the thing is, like, again, if I'm given the opportunity, if I just snap my finger, you wouldn't take that chance. You would rather stay at 290 whatever pounds, which more than likely you probably are already over 300, but you wouldn't take that opportunity. You would stay at 300 pounds.
Yeah, because I'm really happy.
Oh my God. Okay.
I just, I could lose like 50 pounds, but I'm not trying to be that small at all.
160 isn't that small. That's kind of like where you probably should be for somebody that's 5'7". I mean, you likely couldn't do 10 push-ups right now. You likely couldn't even run half a mile. That is a problem. I don't think that you are not physically capable of doing things that the average person is allowed to do or can do.
I don't know. I'm really athletic. I don't know.
I highly doubt that you could run half of a mile and not be almost like laid out in the middle of the street, like can barely breathe. I highly doubt that you can do 10 push-ups. I weigh 238 pounds, and I can knock out 50 push-ups right now. And after the 50, I'll kind of be tired. But I'm also 6'5". Hold on. But with you, that would be an extra 40 pounds, and you're a woman. So I highly doubt that you can push up and down, chest up and down, 300 pounds in a consistent.
When I was younger, I couldn't do that one time. Like I'm move athletically, but to do a push-up, I don't think I ever knew how to do a push-up.
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem.
I don't think that got anything to do with weight.
It does have a lot to do with weight.
I think it got something to do with muscle. I don't think it has anything to do with weight.
And I think that's where the delusion comes in. It has everything to do with your weight. Obviously, it has a slight to do with muscle, but you have people that are not muscular at all. They can do 10 push-ups. If you think that that's just because it has nothing weight, and then you are completely lost.
Okay, I guess I'm lost.
I'm not coming to save you. I'll pass, but I think you should save yourself, and I think you should hold yourself accountable, and I think you should do everything in your power to try to get a healthy, consistent workout routine and change your diet. Do you realize, like, the black community, our community has like the highest rate of a bunch of health ailments like heart disease and diabetes and all of these things. Do you realize that the average black woman is 187 pounds? That is a major problem.
Well, they offering food that is no good.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's a lie. Nobody's forcing you. No, that's a lie. That is a lack of accountability issue. No, it's not. You have every. First of all, what city are you from?
I'm in New Jersey.
You're in New Jersey. Almost every single black community in the United States has a farmer's market that is likely owned by a black man or a black woman. Almost every single one. Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Houston, New York, Jersey for sure. California, or I'm sorry, Los Angeles, San Francisco. Almost every single black community has a farmer's market where you can go and you can buy fruit and vegetables are not expensive. That is a lot of people like to just spew out there. There is nothing but healthy options out here, but people choose to be healthy and they choose to take the wrong way. You choose to eat unhealthy. That's not anything that have to do with anything else but the lack of accountability that people have. You're a grown adult. You know you should not order the Big Mac and you should probably order a fruit salad, but you order the Big Mac and the fries.
They don't offer a fruit salad.
I'm speaking in general, not from McDonald's. Goodness, you don't even know there's none of stuff other than McDonald's. Goodness gracious.
You eat McDonald's, sir.
Well, that make it even worse.
That makes.
I think this brother is so patient, and I don't even think he's rude to her at all. I think he's very patient with her. I think he's very nice to her. And he's correct. I'd say almost every state in the United States have some type of fruit market or some type of place where you can go and get fresh fruit and vegetables.
So where's that I don't eat McDonald's?
Yeah, because you got to really struggle. You got to really fight to be almost 300 pounds.
Snacks, that's why I'm this size, and I love soda.
I love snacks too. I love chips. I love a lot of different things. I like milkshakes, but I eat it in moderation and I have different things. So it's not the fact that you like these things. Everybody in here likes these things. I'm sure everybody in here likes chips, sodas. I don't drink sodas that much, but sodas, pizza, all of us like these things. It's about moderation and eating it in moderation and not overindulging in food. That's also called gluttony. That's something that you should not do.
Understandable. I need to get my obese self on a treadmill because you hurt my feelings.
No, I'm not here to hurt your feelings.
Okay. Did y'all hear what that? She said the brother hurt her feeling. Really? And again, I'm going to say it again. This is why I stay away from people like this. Because they're manipulative. They're full of emotion. You can't tell them the truth no matter how soft-spoken you are to them. Oh, it's how you say it. It's the way you say it. Nonsense. There is no way you can say the truth to people like this. This brother didn't raise his voice. He didn't call her out of her name. He was very nice to her. And she just said he hurt her feeling. Why? Because they just don't want to hear the truth. No matter how nice you say it, no matter even if you whisper it to them. That's why I stay away from folks like that, man. You can't talk to people like this. You just can't. So you just leave them alone. But I just wanted to share this video to show the level of delusion a lot of our sisters are walking around with, and then they wonder why they're where they are, and I can't get, why I can't, and then they get upset with the men that they can't get when you haven't worked on yourself.
So all of us like these things. It's about moderation and eating it in moderation, overindulging in food. That's also called gluttony. That's something that you should not do.
Understandable. I need to get my obese self on a treadmill because you hurt my feelings.
No, I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm here to tell you the truth because you're an adult and you need to hear it. And you shouldn't focus on the treadmill. You should focus on being at a caloric. Working out is never going to do anything for you if you're not at a caloric deficit. The treadmill is the last thing you should be focused on. What you should be focused on moving forward, weight loss, is being at a caloric deficit. count your calories, use ChatGPT.
In other words, he's telling her that her weight loss journey starts in the kitchen. It's what she's eating, what she's putting in her mouth. That's what he's trying to tell her. You know, when I watched this video, man, the only thing I can think of was, you know, sisters like this are just living in this fairy tale, mystical Alice in Wonderland fairy tale, because they expect to do the bare minimum, right? And some good, decent, hardworking, ambitious brother should just accept you as you are, big, obese, and lazy, right? That brother had to work hard to get to where he is and make himself into a man, right? And you think that what he deserves is someone who doesn't care about what they put in their stomach. Someone who has made no effort into taking care of her physical well-being, right? What kind of wife and mother do you think a woman like that is going to be? If she don't even care about her health, do you think she's going to be a good example for her children and their health? Do you think that brother is going to come home to healthy meals from a hard day at work? She going to give that brother hypertension. She going to give her children early childhood diabetes. That brother is going to come down with prostate problems, all type of medical problems, because she don't care. She can't take care of a family. A woman like that, brothers, let me tell y'all something. A woman like that cannot take care of a family. You'll die early. Your children will come down. By the time they're 15, they're going to have hypertension and A1C problem, diabetes issues, all type of inflammation and all type of stuff in their going on with their health. That's what's going to happen to your babies if you have babies with women like that. There's not going to be any health in the home. Everything is going to be chaos. Y'all be running back and forth to the hospital. Crazy. Just insane. Anyway. That's my rant for the day, guys. Sorry. All right. I'm sure nobody wants to ask any question now. Oh, Sister Malika is just so mean. Anybody have any question? Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. Shout out to Sister Arajuku. I swear, Arajuku. Shout out to you guys in the chat. If you have any questions, throw it in the chat before I go. We're about to turn, we're about to get out of here. If you don't have any question, that'll be it for the day. Once again, I want to thank you guys for coming in. As always, I appreciate it. All right. I'm sure somebody is upset. You'll get over it. Let's see. I think somebody have a question here. What was the question? Where is it? Hypertension in kids is same way it is in adults. If kids have high blood pressure, they have high blood pressure. Gotta check their get it checked. See where it is. It's the same thing. Oh, you got to change your diet. You got to change your diet. And yes, children can do cleanse. I always shared with you guys that my grandmother started us off when I was about 5 or 6 years old. That's the age that I got my first cleanse, cleaning my gut. Okay. And when we did a cleanse at that age, we'd have to fast for the day, meaning when we wake up in the morning, my grandmother would be in the kitchen bright and early with a cup of this thing for us to drink. We have to drink it. We have to finish the entire cup, right? About 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And then she would monitor us throughout the day. We couldn't drink. I mean, we would have to just drink a lot of tea, a lot of water, just a lot of liquid to help flush the system out, right? A lot of herbal teas and stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, we would have a bowl of soup for dinner. Okay, so we've technically been fasting since we were 5 or 6 years old, because our grandmother taught us to fast, right? You were fasting while you're cleansing. We couldn't eat anything, just drink. We're drinking a lot of fluid to flush the system out, but we couldn't eat any food. All right, so the scripture says, train up a child. That's how you train up a child, from their young. And as you can see, I have not departed from it. Okay? That is how you train up a child. Start when they're young. Yes, children can get cleansed. I'm just letting you know at what age I started to get my cleanse. Around 5 or 6 years old was when I got my first cleanse. I'll never forget it. And Sister Angelina says, should I stay home from work the whole 7 days? Absolutely not, sis. I've done that cleanse quite a few times. I've gone to work. You're going to flush the system out on the first day. Make sure you're doing it on a day off. So if you're home on the weekend, you could do it, that flush, on the first day. And after that, all you're doing is following a specific diet. Okay, that's a part of the cleanse as well. And you're going to be drinking the herbs. You know, when I do cleanse like this and I have to go to work, I prepare the herbs and prepare the meal, and I take them to work with me. You see what I'm saying? I put it in my little bag, my little lunch bag, and I take it to work with me. So I'm doing the protocol while I'm at work. You see what I'm saying? I'm not skipping anything. I'm still doing it. That's how you do it. You're not going to be going to the bathroom the entire 7 days. If that's what you're asking, no, absolutely not. You're only going to the bathroom the first day, the very first day. And you just want to make sure that that first day is a day off. If you don't work on the weekend, that's the right time to do that flush the first day. For the next 6 days, you're not going to the bathroom like that. I mean, you go regularly like you normally would, but the first day is when you're really going to be flushing out. All right. All right. And let me say this. Before I go, I want to say this, right? Because some people think just taking sea moss or having fruits for a week or two is cleansing. It's not really cleansing the system, just eating fruits or whatever. Okay, there's more to cleansing than that. All right, I just wanted to point that out. That's a part of the cleansing, but that's not what cleansing is. Okay, I'm sharing on my screen here. Again, we're on the Grassroot Botanical website. There's a lot of cleansing. Okay, if you go to this website here and go to the that says health program, there's a lot of cleanse there. And I'm going to show you an example of a cleanse. An example of a cleanse is this 7-day mucus, digestive, and immune cleanse. Okay, this is one of the most popular cleanse on this website. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, we're getting to the end of the lesson here, and if you don't have any more questions for me, we'll shut it down. Love you guys again. Hope you guys enjoyed the class. We'll be back here next week. All right. Not sure if Priest Daniela have anything to say.